A UK judge has rejected a request from Washington to extradite the WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The judge blocking the request because of concerns over Assange's mental health. The 49-year-old Australian national is wanted over the publication of thousands of classified documents in both 2010 and 2011. Washington claiming the leaks broke the law and endangered lives and saying the decision will be appealed. Let's cross now to Sydney to speak to Andrew Fowler, a journalist and author who's written Assange's biography. Andrew, this extraordinary legal battle has become an important case for media freedoms, but Assange is still set to face an appeal from the Americans, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is, Annette, and that's what we're waiting for now, on whether or not they will go for the appeal and what will happen next, whether they're actually granted leave to appeal or not. It was, in fact, an extraordinary case. I watched it online as a journalist. We had the right of access to watch the Old Bailey hearing, and the audio was appalling most of the time, but the essence of it was that the judge accepted all of the allegations against Assange. It was quite extraordinary sitting through it all, when one after the other that he was clearly guilty of all these things. And then, right at the end, she completely turned around and accepted all of the defence arguments about his mental health and said that he was clearly a suicide risk and clearly would find a way of committing suicide if he were to be extradited. So he should be freed.
So what does this case mean for media freedoms, and especially in light of today's judgment?
Well, it looks as though, and as I say, the audio is extremely bad, but from what I heard of it, that it means that the argument hasn't been had yet. That in fact the British establishment has had it both ways. They've actually said, yes, he's a criminal. He's done all these things, but he's a risk of suicide. So therefore, he shouldn't be extradited, which kind of allows them to wash their hands of him without dealing with the consequences.
But again, I mean, just stressing, this is a case that does have extraordinary implications for those of us working in the media, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely does. I mean, in fact, this finding, if you like, and just thinking ahead, means that Assange has been found to have been culpable on all the charges, in fact, basically reading out the charge sheet against him, and that means that what journalists do for a living is seen by the British courts to be a criminal act. And so that in itself is a major problem. It sends a chill through journalism, and to then say, well, it's his mental health that stands in the way, it's a way of dodging the real argument. And the real argument is that every journalist is now on alert that anything they do, they can be picked up off the streets and charged by the United States and extradited to the United States on any charge the US chooses to bring. So you've got this unfulfilled argument, if you like, where journalists are now not clear about what their rights are in the UK, and that Assange is possibly free tonight, possibly free tomorrow if there's no appeal. So it's very inconclusive, but it does hand the British a way out of this very difficult situation.
Andrew Fowler, thank you for that.